How's it going, everybody? So we have a fun review today as we're talking The Conjuring Last Rites. Compared to a lot of other recent Conjuring Universe entries, there's a bittersweet quality going into this one pertaining to the fact that it's being marketed as the conclusion of the story revolving around Ed and Lorraine Warren. Doesn't exactly mean we're not going to see Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga again playing the Warrens, but there's no more mainline Conjuring Universe movies for them. Which is a shame because I think they are the backbone and heart of what makes this universe so great. I mean, it's been 12 years now since the first Conjuring, believe it or not. Now, it's no secret that the Conjuring universe, by and large, is not the big top dog in the horror industry like it used to. I mean, nobody ever stays at the top forever. Like I already said, it's been 12 years since this universe started. But I still hope they'd find a way to recapture some of that past glory, mostly to give Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga a fitting send-off as the Warrens. If you're someone that wasn't a big fan of the most recent Conjuring film, The Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It, or you were just fairly mixed on it in general, I do feel like Michael Chaves has improved in most aspects. By now, Michael Chaves really does have the Conjuring universe formula down. You can interpret that as a positive or a negative. I mean, by this point, he is the one that's primarily directing the Conjuring universe movies. If you count La Llorona, this is his fourth Conjuring universe movie. Stylistically, Last Rites feels much closer to the original two Conjuring films from James Wan. While it doesn't reach those exact same heights as the first two Conjuring films, the effort is sufficient enough throughout the deeper the Warrens go into investigating the Smurl case, where it hits a good balance of horror while attempting to conclude Ed and Lorraine's arcs. For the majority of the film revolving around the Smurl case, I quite like the balancing act between the Smurl family and the Warrens. How their paths intersect with one another makes this case really intriguing. In comparison to a lot of the other cases revolving around the Warrens, I actually didn't really know that much about the Smurl case, and I didn't want to dig into it before the film in case it would be spoilers. Not that I expect the Conjuring Universe movies to be completely accurate what they're showing on screen. I mean, at this point, the last few Conjuring entries, Lorraine pretty much has superpowers, so I had to get used to that in the last film and some more in Last Rites. Regardless of factoring in the accuracy of the case, I have to admit, the Smurl case, by and large, there is a lot of really messed up, creepy, and unnerving imagery. The multitude of creepy different ghouls and ghosts in this one genuinely were pretty scary. I mean, there's one that you see in the trailer that looks scary and horrifying for very different reasons. I still don't know why that CGI on that ghost looks absolutely awful. By now, we've seen the Warrens face off against a multitude of different entities. Even if I enjoy the multitude of different ones in here, none of them here I feel like is anywhere close to the heights of the original films from a danger level perspective. I'll definitely give it to them for having various different sequences with the Smurl family and putting the Warrens in danger, where it did make me jump out of my seat a little bit and squirm. All I'll say is, compared to the multitude of other villains in these movies, I don't think any of the movie's villains in this are gonna get a spin-off film like Annabelle or The Nun. They did manage to find ways to incorporate Annabelle into this film, funny enough. I guess that's why she's the popcorn bucket they decided to have for The Conjuring Last Rites. Regardless of whether or not this is the final time we do see him portray Ed and Lorraine Warren, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga continue to be the true heart and soul that makes these films worth getting invested in. Their bond, strength, and determination fuel a very emotionally charged drama on top of the terrors they endure along the Smurl case that truly continues to test their faith and devotion. Between all of the fun scares, it's the magnetic chemistry both of them have that shines through. That part is highlighted best in the big send-off sequence with these characters at the end of the film that, I'm not gonna lie, as someone that does quite enjoy this universe, did make me almost want to tear up a little bit, because I like them so much as the Warrens and I don't want to see them go. Also, by the way, kudos to the two actors that they got to portray the young Ed and Lorraine Warren in this. There's several sequences in the film where we get to see Ed and Lorraine Warren a whole lot younger, and the two actors do a fantastic job emulating Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. A major aspect I didn't expect heading into The Last Rites, though, and it's one I am more so mixed on, is Judy getting a much bigger role compared to the previous Conjuring films other than Annabelle Comes Home. Makes you wonder if that is the true reason why they decided to recast Judy once again. According to what I saw, apparently the actress that portrayed Judy in the first three Conjuring movies just didn't look old enough, so that's why they cast Mia Tomlinson. Either way, a very fascinating choice to continuously recast Judy. Mia Tomlinson is pretty solid, at least, as Judy. I found it pretty interesting at times navigating how Judy and her boyfriend deal with the messed up stuff they have to put up with thanks to Ed and Lorraine being her parents. It puts some fun perspective on the table on what exactly you would do if both of your parents were paranormal investigators and you just saw everything that happened in the Conjuring universe. Unfortunately, however, I do think they spent way too much time on them. There are multiple parts parts in Last Rites that do truly drag. Most of them, I think, are the sequences revolving around Judy, and some other sequences in the latter part of the film where we're not focusing as much on the Smurl case anymore. Some of these sections I do think could have been cut for time to tell a more cohesive, tightly paced narrative, and a good chunk of the sequences I would probably cut out of the movie, unfortunately, are Judy's. Overall, while I feel The Conjuring Last Rites isn't a magnificent closing chapter to wrap up our time with the Warrens, nevertheless, I do think it's a solid enough conclusion with enough fun scares and heart that should leave you satisfied if this really is the last time we see Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. How everything concludes in Last Rites certainly leads me to believe that this is supposed to be a big send-off for them, even down to some of the stuff that we see in the credits of the film, which I highly recommend staying for. Once you get a chance to check out The Conjuring Last Rites, make sure you share your thoughts down below. What'd you think of the film? Did you like the film? Did you not like the film? Thank you guys, as always, checking out videos. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you like the video and also subscribe to the channel for reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.